Welcome back. I'm your host, Darnell Jackson. In this crypto report, we're going to be talking about Joe Biden going full tax and spend on crypto. But first, make sure you subscribe to your favorite YouTube channel, Darnell Jackson Crypto, daily YouTube videos, daily crypto videos. Okay, let's jump over to the agenda. We are talking about Joe Biden. He's going full tax and spend on crypto. Here's how he may do it, and we're going to talk about the frequently asked questions. All right, this is the news that's hitting the crypto world today. I want to jump over to a tweet. This was an interesting tweet by Jake Chervinsky on Twitter at @JChervinsky. He's talking about, here's the deal with the U.S. infrastructure bill. This is a long tweet, but I'm going to go through it just to bring you up to speed. People are freaking out over this. A new provision has been added that expands the tax code's definition of broker to capture nearly everyone in crypto, including non-custodial actors like miners, forcing them all to KYC. KYC is know your customer. So this means people are going to be forced to turn in paperwork when in the past that never was required. He goes on to say the bill expands the definition of a broker to include any person for any consideration is responsible for, and regulatory provides any service effectuating, I don't know what the hell that word is, transfers of digital assets. Earlier drafts said even if non-custodial and explicitly included DEX and P2P markets. This definition is so broad it could apply to nearly every economic actor in the U.S. crypto industry if read literally. So it's not good. He says this includes proof of work miners and proof of stake validators, since providing a service to effectuate transfers of digital assets for consideration seem to fit both. Looks like we've discovered a new word here, man. Effectuate. Okay, that must be what that is. Effectuate. That's definitely a new word for me. It might include a huge range of DeFi market participants too, like DEX LPs, liquidators, protocol governors, etc. Depending what for consideration means, it might also extend to non-economic actors like node operators or wallet developers. The scope here could be massive. He goes on to say the tax code requires brokers to comply with IRS reporting requirements. Most importantly, they have to give Form 1099s to their customers and file them with the IRS too. To fill out Form 1099s, brokers have to collect customer data, including name, address, phone number, etc. This means brokers have to KYC customers to comply with IRS reporting requirements. As a result, the provision functions as surveillance mandate, just like the one Secretary Mnuchin proposed in the final days of the Trump administration. This is Secretary Treasury Mnuchin, who worked for Trump. Number 7, those who understand crypto already know users are pseudonymous and access is permissionless. It is literally impossible for non-custodial actors like miners to get the information they need to form 1099s. In practice, this could mean a de facto ban on mining in the United States. This sounds insane, but it really might happen. Most crypto legislation goes nowhere, so it's easy to ignore. Not this time. This provision is part of the bipartisan and otherwise popular infrastructure bill, which is moving quickly through Congress and is highly likely to pass. What does crypto have to do with infrastructure, you may ask? This bill has to include pay-for provisions to raise revenue for new spending so that it's revenue neutral as a whole. The broker definition is one of the pay-for provisions in the Senate draft of the bill. Now, the Senate draft of the bill is more important than the original bill. The bill is normally introduced in Congress, it goes to the Senate, and then it's signed by the president. So if the Senate is adding something to the bill, then in additionally to just signing it, they're adding stuff to it. So they're making it reflect what they want. And if the Senate is aligned with the president, this could become law. There are three main ways to raise revenue in a bill like this: increase current taxes, add new taxes, or improve tax compliance. This allegedly falls in the third category. Okay, this allegedly falls in the third category, which is to improve tax compliance, making people pay taxes they already owe. Congress thinks crypto is full of tax evaders. It isn't. 11, the infrastructure bill is estimated to cost over $1 trillion. Congress scored the new broker definition at $28 billion in added tax revenue. He has no clue how he got that number or is even close to calculate it. Regardless, this is no way to handle major new regulations. So this is really bad news. Number 12, this is a deeply misguided provision that, if adopted, will do far more harm than good to U.S. interests. Here's his top 5 reasons why. Number 1, it defies logic to adopt a regulation for which compliance is literally impossible unless the goal is to kill the industry, which it very well could be. Second, this will be a huge foreign policy failure. After China made the geopolitical blunder of forcing miners out of their country, many of us hoped the U.S. would take market share in this crucial sector. We can't make the same mistake China did. We have to stay in the game. Third, it won't work. For every new dollar of tax revenue, we lose 2 or 10 as the U.S. crypto industry shuts down or goes offshore. And instead of getting more insight into taxable crypto gains, the IRS will get less as more users go dark on unregulated platforms. Fourth, it short circuits the discussion we have been having with FinCEN. Since President Biden took office, FinCEN has done a ton of solid work on crypto AML regulation. We should keep that process going, not cut it off by sneaking KYC in through the tax code's back door. Okay, you'll have to look into the FinCEN and crypto AML a little bit more. We're not discussing that here. Fifth, the burden it'll place on civil rights is unacceptable. He's talking about our Fourth Amendment right to privacy limits how much surveillance government can mandate without a warrant. That's probably going to be a laughable point, Jake, in this day and age. I don't think anything that the government is doing is showing any form of care about anybody's privacy. Number 17, to start, don't panic. The provision isn't final yet and still can be changed. Even if it passes as is, shouldn't take effect until 2023 at earliest. So at least we'll have time to try to undo it in Congress or the courts. This may be a long fight. Number 18, if you're a U.S. citizen, call your members of Congress and beg. If you're a leader of a U.S. crypto company, reach out to this guy. So this is the tweet that I believe gives you a lot of information on what a lot of people are expecting with this bill. I want to jump over to headlines to give you a little bit more perspective on what's happening. So this was the first story that came out of Bitcoin.com. Biden to step up crypto tax enforcement to help fund $1 trillion U.S. infrastructure plan. There's Biden with his tax face on. And the White House announced Wednesday that President Joe Biden and a bipartisan group of lawmakers have agreed on the details of a once-in-a-generation investment in the U.S. infrastructure. So he's going to spend the money. So let's see here. A fact sheet published Wednesday by the White House explains in the years ahead the deal will generate significant economic benefits, adding it is financed through a combination of redirecting unspent emergency relief funds. Yeah, right. So there's unspent emergency relief funds. Who believes that? It's going to target corporate user fees. It's strengthening tax enforcement when it comes to crypto and other bipartisan measures, in addition to the revenue generated from higher economic growth as a result of investments. Do you believe that? Let's take a look at some more reporting on this article from Finance Yahoo. Senators push through bill with surprise crypto tax amendment. This from Sam Cooling. He's got one of the coolest names in crypto writing. And he's talking about the new bill will focus on businesses such as centralized exchanges, creating a legal obligation for them to report transactions of more than 10K on their platforms to the Internal Revenue Service. This guy put the Inland Revenue Service. Who wrote this article? I gave you a shout out, Sam. Come on. The standard threshold for IRS reporting requirements, so the latest proposal can be seen as an extension of the information reporting regime into the crypto space. All right. Now, this follows a Treasury publication early in the year that suggested tax enforcement on crypto assets were necessary in order to minimize the incentives and opportunity to shift income out of the reporting regime. However, the real catalyst for this legislation has been a desperate need to fill a funding gap in the new $550 billion National Infrastructure Plan, which aims to modernize America's aging transport and power grid systems. Okay, so this is the deal, and people are not happy about this. Let's take a look at what's going on with CoinDesk. This is a short video I want to play you from the guys over at CoinDesk. They're going to be talking about this. This article is from David Morris, and he is responding to this. He's talking about the creators of software wallets could even be required to track and report user transactions, according to both crypto lobbyists Jerry Brito of Coin Center and Blockchain Association head Christian Smith. Software and hardware crypto wallets, of course, do not track or report user transactions, which would make the law impossible to comply with. So by default, they're trying to outlaw crypto people, man. Let me jump over and play a video for you. I just want you to check out a little bit of this conversation from this panel on CoinDesk.
This is actually pretty genuinely concerning. For those who aren't aware, the House and Senate are both working on a pretty large infrastructure funding bill. The total new spending is about $550 billion. And for various legislative reasons, they have to include what are known as pay-fors in that bill to a certain extent to show that they're generating new revenue to match this new spending. And about $30 billion of that new revenue right now is expected to come from a provision that would add some new tax requirements and reporting requirements to crypto operators. Now, this is still in process. Coin Center is actively working to deal with it. But the issue here is that the language in the bill, we are led to understand, could lead to some real problems with classifying miners and DEXs as brokers, as well as potentially requiring software and hardware wallets to report transactions to tax authorities, which, leaving aside any political or, whatever other questions, is technically impossible for the most part. So there could be a real train wreck here, and we're sort of watching it, and we don't actually have the exact language yet because this is still all being negotiated. But our understanding is that there are some problems. So it's a tax bill that is flawed. We're hoping to fix it, and we're going to be keeping an eye on it over the next few days. But who knows what'll happen because this is a big omnibus spending bill that there's a lot of pressure to get passed and might not be a whole lot of time to work out these kinks, which is part of the problem. Ben, you're nodding your head, which is the only.
You can see people frozen up. They're not very happy about this.
reaction I'm seeing of anybody on the screen. So you get to talk
We're
about
not
it.
even
We're just so sad.
As
So sad,
seriously
dude.
as Ben.
Everybody said about this, as you can see here on this panel. Post in the comments what your reaction is to this. I want to jump over to the frequently asked question page on the IRS website, and I just want to show you really quickly what actually what actually has been published by the IRS in terms of what is and what is not. So this is the IRS frequently asked questions on virtual currency transactions. So they have a definition of what is virtual currency and how is virtual currency treated for federal income tax purposes. I just want to show you this part. Virtual currency is treated as property, and general tax principles applicable to property transactions apply to transactions using virtual currency. For more information on the tax treatment of virtual currency, see Notice 2014-21. For more information on the tax treatment of property transactions, see Publication 544. Okay, now you guys can read this information. I am not a tax professional. I am not a financial professional. I am Darnell Jackson Crypto, sharing this information with you, and I would love to hear what you think about it. I will say to you that everything is not all gloom and doom. There is still something positive that is left in this industry. I don't think they're going to completely obliterate it, but I do think this is going to crash prices. I really believe that you can expect prices to come down big time, because there's never been any time in Bitcoin where there's been taxes. There's never been some taxed error at any point in time. If you look back over Bitcoin over 1 year or over its entire lifetime, at no point was there somebody coming in saying that there's this bill that's going to force the exchanges to snitch on their customers and force them to reveal the information that they were designed not to reveal. Okay, so Bitcoin's at 41. It busted out over 41. So it's making its way. Is it making its way back to its all-time highs? I don't think so. What do you think? It is at 18% in 1 month. June was a down month, and it's ending July up dramatically from where it was last month. So that is what's happening with the taxes. I want to thank you for watching this long video, and I want to send a shout out to all the subscribers. If you don't like this video, make sure you watch the rest of the videos until you find one you like. If you watch like 10 of the videos and you still don't like one, share all 10 of the videos with somebody who will. Until the next time, peace.